Okay, we'll call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council. It is June 21st, and it is 6:30 p.m. We are in the council chambers of West Valley City Hall. We have a roll call. All members are present either in person or virtually. And we'll now turn the time over to Councilman Hoon for the opening ceremony.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to invite every one of you to stand up and do a pledge of allegiance with me. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have the minutes of June 14th. Is there any discussion or a motion on the minutes?
I move for approval of our minutes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And they stand approved. We will now accept public comment. Our public comment period is limited to 30 minutes. Any person wishing to comment shall limit their comments to 5 minutes. Upon recognition by the mayor, you may approach the microphone and give us your name and address if you did not sign up. If you did sign up, just your name. All comments shall be directed to the mayor. No person addressing the council during the comment period shall be allowed to speak more than once, and the speakers should not expect a debate with the council and mayor. Council, mayor, and staff will have time to respond within the 30 minutes. So our first speaker, please.
GMV sock, I remembered. Got my notes this week. The last few times I've been out at the Maverick Center, I noticed people parking crazy. And it's because there's no lines. You can't see the lines out there. I'm sure it's on the many things that need to be done, but we have a lot of events out there, and if they're not going to reseal the parking lot or something, it needs to be relined. It is really, really bad, especially in the area that I park in. Also, when the city does special events, different things throughout the city, they tend to block handicap parking. Handicap parking is required. The ADA governs, and the Department of Justice is the one that puts it out. So when they're blocking and using those for non-handicapped persons, I mean, they're not just violating city, county, state, they're also violating federal law. There's got to be a better way, even on private property, because you're required to have a certain amount of handicap spots. There's got to be a better way than blocking or using our handicap spaces in events. And maybe the city uses them and redesignates other spots so that we can have the equal number. It's just something that I've noticed and had on my notes. Now to my repeat thing, semis. I mean, I'm going to keep saying it. And like I said, what I think needs to be done, it's not just semis, all the parking violations, is after a certain number, and it's going to take the council to do this, that $100 goes away. So if you start hitting them with that 125 and a $3 fee to $128, that's a bigger bang than a $28 ticket. And it's something you guys might want to look at because it's throughout the city. It's like I said, with the construction trailers, the RV trailers, and then the semis. The semis in the yard, the one that in my neighborhood on Peggy Lane, I copied Mayor on it several times. It's there. It's been more than 10 days. It's been almost 30 days. It's still in the yard. It's like nothing's being done. The emails come back, said that they're working on it. Well, code enforcement can actually issue tickets, and it'd be nice to see it done and see that semi gone. When staying with code enforcement, weeds. Weeds are getting high throughout the city and it doesn't seem to be going away. There's one over by off of 5600 where Sun Academy is. I think it's 3800 block, right on the corner. This is a repeat offender. It's a rental property. It's been in violation. It's been written up so many times. Surprised they're not going back to it, but it's got weeds. It's a corner house. It's in a very populated area. A lot of people pass it. It looks terrible for our city. Along the fences on 5600, there's a Hummer parked up for sale in the weeds. Parking hasn't tagged it. Code enforcement hasn't tagged the weeds. I noticed the code enforcement person in my neighborhood driving through like it was a racetrack. I don't know where she was going, but she come racing through the neighborhood. You can't see very many violations if you're going really fast. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Number 2.
Hello, Mayor. Thank you for this opportunity to speak to you as a member of our community and share my excitement with you. My name is Darren Blanchard. I live on 2809 South Brixham Way. I've lived in West Valley City for nearly 20 years now. It started out as just a place where I lived, then it became home. Now it's my city. It's a place I'm proud of. There are a lot of changes. There are a lot of things West Valley has to be proud of, but tonight I would like to focus on something that I've become passionate about: the Utah Grizzlies. The Grizzlies had an absolutely stellar season, breaking many team records, winning the ECHL Mountain Division and playing in the Western Conference Finals. The Grizzlies had the most wins in the last 20 years of team history. Many individual players achieved great things this year as well, such as the league's Defenseman of the Year, Charles Edward Dastu, which also earned him a spot in the ECHL All-Star team. We had 2 players named to the ECHL All-Rookie team, Luke Martin and Benjamin Tardif. Mason Manick, a local Utahn from Harriman, was a fan favorite and led in scoring for all Grizzlies forwards. He also was one of the 2 players to play in all 72 regular season games. There are too many achievements to list them all. Just know that our team is amazing. I want to let you also know that if you were to play NHL 22 on Xbox or PlayStation, you can play as any NHL team that you want to. You can also play as any single ECHL team. The Utah Grizzlies are in NHL 22. You can pick the Utah Grizzlies and play with the full roster and hear the in-game announcer say, "Tonight's game at the Maverick Center in West Valley City." West Valley City. Not Salt Lake, not Utah. Our city is named, and I think that that means a lot. The Maverick Center is home to my favorite hockey team, obviously, but it is so much more than that. It is a concert venue with big names coming through. Pro wrestling, monster trucks, comedians, high school graduations are held there. It is something that belongs to West Valley and something to be proud of since its Olympic heritage. It is something that not only brings in money, but prestige. According to Wikipedia, the owner of the Maverick Center is West Valley City. As much as I enjoy sharing my passion with any captive audience, I do have an agenda. When I'm at a game and an incredible goal is scored or a big hit delivered, I'm on my feet screaming. And then my head swivels around to the big screen to watch the replay. Our screen has performed its duty well, but it is time to retire and replace it with something new. This is something that selfishly benefits me, and I recognize and accept that. But as I've illustrated, the Maverick Center is West Valley City. It is for everyone. A new screen would benefit every event held there for all citizens and all guests. I don't know the process to make this happen, so today I just wanted to come up and share my enthusiasm for our team, for our boys, and take my first step to campaign for a new screen at the Maverick Center. I would like to have your help and support with this endeavor, And if you know who the right person that I should contact, or they could reach out to me, I did give my email address. So thank you. Go Grizzlies.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Cottle, do you have anything?
No, thank you. Not tonight, ma'am.
All right, to the council, any comments? Okay, thank you. And I will just comment that I appreciate your loyalty to the Grizz, and I wish we could get our attendance up a little higher. That's my only concern with them, because the games are fun to watch. So, all right, we will now move to our public hearing, application SA 1, 2022. Ms. Cottle?
Thank you, Mayor. This is Mr. Puchar is requesting a final plat approval and an amendment to Lot 1 of the Western Flats subdivision. This subdivision was originally recorded in February of 2008. It's located at 3685 South, 3200 West. Property is bordered on the northeast and south by existing residential. And the proposed application will amend Lot 1 by creating an additional building lot. I can answer any questions.
Okay, any questions before we open the public hearing? Okay, seeing none, we will now open the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to speak for or against this issue? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing and I will turn it to the council to take action on ordinance 22-25. And it is yours for comment or a motion.
I move for approval of ordinance 22-25.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone.
Yes.
Councilman Harmon.
Yes.
Councilman Hune.
Aye.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt.
Yes.
And Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. We will now move to our resolutions and we have resolution 22-101. Ms. Kamic, Ms. Cottle.
This is a resolution to authorize the entering into an agreement with All Pro Security, who is a provider of bailiff services at the Justice Court. As the council is aware, we have a very busy and robust Justice Court and require a significant amount of bailiff and constable services to make sure that court proceeds in an orderly and managed fashion. And All Pro Security is the provider who has the capability to provide the level of service that we need and the number of bailiffs that we need, which is a difficult task right now. So this contract would authorize us to enter into this agreement. It's $216,000 out of existing Justice Court budget.
Okay, thank you. I will now turn it to the council for discussion or a motion.
Move for approval of resolution 22-101.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt.
Yes.
Councilman Christensen.
Yes.
Councilman Hune.
Aye.
Councilman Harmon.
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone.
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
And Mayor Ling.
Yes,
Motion passes unanimously.
thank you. We will now move to resolution 22-102. Ms. Cottle?
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution authorizes the city to enter into an agreement, a cooperative agreement with the Utah Attorney General's office for what's called the Secure Task Force, which focuses on statewide enforcement of human trafficking crimes that cause a great deal of concern both in our own community and across the state. We have some individuals in our department who are currently expert on these types of issues, but also this Secure Task Force provides the opportunity for additional officers as they rotate through the spot to gain the knowledge and understanding that is required to enforce these particular types of issues. This is as I mentioned, an agreement with the Attorney General's office. It provides for one officer that would be in this task force, and the Attorney General would provide the city with the funds to cover the cost of that officer. And I can answer any questions.
All right, thank you. Turning to the council for discussion or a motion.
Can I just ask,
clarifying question. I'm in full support, but is this paying for the equivalent of one FTE? Because you noted that people can swap in and out, or is it one officer per year?
Yes, yes. So what will happen typically this type of an officer, because these issues are detailed and take a lot of time to come up to speed on, it's probably going to be about a 2-year rotation.
Okay.
So an officer would typically go in, it covers that equivalent of an FTE. And then once that officer is trained and proficient, then we'd probably switch out with another officer to have the opportunity. So it's the equivalent FTE.
Perfect. Thanks. Oh, is it our turn?
Motion to approve. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
and Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. We have one piece of new business, application SMI 2022. Ms. Cottle?
Thank you. This is a request for final plat approval for a property located at 2508 South Redwood Road. And this is a subdivision that is basically, that address is the corner of Redwood Road and Parkway Boulevard. It's bordered on the north by a manufacturing zone and on the east by Redwood Road, and on the south by a senior living center zone C2, and on the west by RM. The purpose for this subdivision is to create 2 lots. So lot 1 on the corner is already occupied, and lot 2 would be the vacant portion of the property that would be utilized for future commercial use.
Okay, thank you. I will now turn it to the council for discussion or a motion.
I move for approval of application SMI 2-2022.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Kamic?
Councilman Nordfelt,
Yes.
Councilman Christensen,
Yes.
Councilman Hune,
Aye.
Councilman Harmon,
Yes.
Councilman Whitstone,
Yes.
Councilman Fitzie Umanu.
Aye.
And Mayor Ling.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. We do not have a need for a closed session, so we just have one more matter of business.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And we are adjourned. Thank you so much for coming out.